Part of the order, the first one, or the third one which you read, was that the instant motion, that civil prayer, the instant motion ex parte is not refused, but the defendant shall put on notice the same day, within 72 hours, which he talks about, to show cause why the plaintiff shall not be entitled to the preservatory orders. But the PDP will understand from Mr. Keji's comments that they responded by telling the court.
But if they, after responding, don't wait till Tuesday, which is tomorrow.
No, are they supposed to wait or within 72 hours show the court?
The man says if before the date 22nd/11 they carry out any subversive or any action that could in any way detract from this ruling, then the ruling holds that these actions will be null and void.
Even after having shown cause why they should proceed?
No, they have filed it, but the court hasn't heard it.
Hasn't heard. Okay, no.
The court hears it when the court sits.
It's interesting that you took into consideration the fact that Chamberlain already asked that question, and the reply we got was that the court does have the power to nullify. I mean, that's what the lawyer did acknowledge, that the court does have the power to nullify. But he also tried to make it as categorical as possible, that there was no clear injunction, preventing the PDP from doing
there was no injunction.
What it has done.
No injunction, but there was a warning.
So that
clear warning.
So that conditional clause there, if it states it all, that they shouldn't have gone ahead with
and people now, they shouldn't have gone ahead. One, there's also an argument in some quarters that they went ahead so as to meet the constitutional requirements, the Electoral Act, about 90 days before
60 days.
60 days before elections. Even if they had gone ahead to hold the primaries, say on Tuesday or Wednesday, they will still be within the 60 days limit.
What do you think would happen now?
I am expecting.
Let's try and see.
First of all, I want them. I believe that a lot of people have also made an error of assuming that people have said the president is against silver, and that's why this is happening.
Isn't that what it is?
I don't think so. The president is a member. Good, he's a leader of the party.
Why is everyone begging? Why is everyone appealing to him to wade in, appealing to him?
Because they've got it all wrong.
They feel that he's one of the puppet masters.
They've got it all wrong. If they were, all you have to do, don't beg anybody. If I wear their shoes, I won't go about begging anybody.
It's interesting, you've said you're your friend, you're the friend of the four major candidates.
And with the president.
And of course, the friend of the president. Of the four major candidates, would you have advised them to have stayed or remained in the party? Considering the fact that this was going to be a primaries to screen out the best or to get the best man to contest. You should think that was an option that the people of Bayelsa State weren't going to get to feel by themselves. Being given the opportunity to peak.
I think Timi Alaibi had chosen that path in the recent past when he felt he would not be given fair screening, and so he left the party and joined the Labour Party. But according to him, he had reassurances, but even if he did not have reassurances, there were precedents to show that if he got back into the party, he would be given a waiver. He got back in, he expected a waiver, he applied for one, he didn't get it.
No, but Mr. Uranta.
Now, but just a minute. Ambassador Igali left the shores of this nation after giving a letter to the screening committee saying that he was going to represent Nigeria at the United Nations, an engagement that had been fixed over 3 months in the past. He was chairman of a session. Now, should he not have represented Nigeria? So he sought their permission to go and come back 3 days after that screening date and be screened on his own. And he says, a verbal agreement.
Verbal agreement.
Yes. Now, maybe we can now say there are no gentlemen there, because I would expect that a verbal agreement is binding on gentlemen.
Okay, but I was going to ask
Yeah.
that, sorry, pardon me, Makwe, if in the case of Mr. Laibe, he's been in that turf, that terrain, right from Alamesia's time. If you were a politician, would you get him back in the party when you know that, you contested for Alamesia, you contested for the president, you contested for...
To be honest, personally, I've always told Timmy, he's a very brilliant man. I've always said to him, go into the organized private sector. Because I believe that if he did, he would he would become one of the biggest employers of labor in the next 5 years.
Now let's take a case of Mr. Murray Bruce. It's coming from the organized private sector.
In the case of Ben Murray Bruce, interestingly enough, it was Alaibe who invited all of us to a retreat where he had different eggheads from all over the world coming to talk about Bielsa about 6 months ago. And then Ben Bruce came and extemporaneously delivered what I consider the most brilliant speech I've ever heard in my life about how Bielsa can be developed, about what should be done, and he talked about it stage by stage. I'm an economist, I'm a development finance specialist. And he was so convincing. At the end of it, nobody's talked. I got up and asked him, if you know all this, and I know you're a friend of Alamesia, you're a friend of Silva, why haven't you put it into practice, or them? He said he wasn't asked. Why didn't you offer? He said they don't listen. So I said, okay, why don't you offer yourself?
Now that he has it been proved right?
Well, he's been proved, maybe he made the mistake of joining the PDP. Because the PDP seems to relish eating its own.